as Jay Gruden, coach, was called to a meeting at 5 o'clock this morning to uh, let it be known that he is going to be fired, and so Jay Gruden is out as Washington head football coach and core of coaches, and a lot said about Daniel Snyder's ownership and just is it possible to win there given the dysfunction that seems to be present there, no matter who the coach is.
That's a great question, and it's been around for a long time. Number one thing, if you go there as a coach, you're going to be fired if you work for Daniel Snyder. Just there's no doubt about it. Um, they allow administrative interference with football matters. In fact, they insist on it, which is an eventual killer for the coach. Eventually, you're going to die. You can't coach under those conditions. It's happened at other places too, but certainly at Washington, they do that now. There are a lot of people that are, with children now and schools and changing homes, and a lot of people affected. So it's a shame, but it's part of the game, and just have to live with it. But I think Gruden will get a chance. He's got a lot of people out there right now in coaching,
Yeah.
and he's going to have a chance to go do it. By the way, he was a tryout with our uh, World Football League team, John Gruden.
Um, Whoever the next coach is of the Washington Redskins has to at least think that he can develop Haskins into what ownership wants, or else there's not really a conversation to be had because it's not like a new coach can come in and say, hey, yeah, you shouldn't have drafted Haskins. I don't really, we have to move on from him because I just don't think he has what it takes. I mean, it's going to take somebody that comes in and says, I love Dwayne Haskins, I love his skill set, and I think I can make him, what you want him to be.
It looks that way. It looks very much like this is a Snyder move. He's going to.
People lining up wanting to take a shot at this.
Well, let me tell you, the only position that you're looking for is one that has the proper prioritization as far as the running of a football organization. Keep in mind, first thing is it's a football organization. Period. Now there are business rules that are applied, but it is a football organization. So the critical decisions are going to be made in the football end of it, or you're not going to have the production on the field that you want. The best person to do that is a person who can give you the organizational pieces that you need, the discipline that you need, and so on. Listen, the blueprint is there. It's there. Go back over the years and look at the great football teams. And who were the people that ran, other than the owner being in charge overall, ran the football organization from Vince Lombardi to Chuck Noll uh, to Bill Walsh to Chuck Knox to I don't care who you taught that the football coach ran the organization, they had a good chance to win. Anytime that you have people in between, and believe me, I've been in both. You've got people in between. There's going to be a lack of direct communication, which in fact, almost always proves to be disastrous. So, no, I wouldn't be looking for a job. If I had the chance and had the credentials, I would not be looking for a job that I would not be in charge of the whole situation.
Well, as we start to kind of recap the games from this past weekend, let's start with the big one in college football. We had seventh ranked Auburn taking on Florida in Gainesville, and again, I talk on the radio, but I am not one of those people that will dig myself a hole to try to convince myself that or anybody else that I was right when I was clearly wrong. And in this case, I was way wrong about Auburn and Florida. I did not like Florida coming into this game. I did not see enough out of their team ever since the Week 0 performance against Miami, and I thought that Auburn would go in here and win this game. And quite frankly, Auburn was pretty inept offensively. It was not a good performance for Bo Nix. Kyle Trask did what he had to do. Also got to see a little bit of the backup quarterback there as well. So pretty comprehensive performance at home coach for Florida. I know we both picked Auburn to win this game, but I had little to no confidence in Florida in this one, and I was proven way wrong.
Well, yeah, I picked Auburn to win it just based on the fact that defense is so important, especially this time of the year. Mm-hmm. And Auburn's defense is one of the best in the country by far. Listen, they both have good defense, and Florida won it. Give them a little home field advantage on a great defense, and offensively they were a little more productive than Auburn was.
And for Florida, there's very little time to celebrate because you got to go out to Death Valley this week, and LSU 42-6 winners over Utah State. Another a good performance from Joe Burrow, 344, 5 touchdowns against Utah State in kind of a tune-up game from there. The defense all of a sudden, again, realizing the level of competition here, but after giving up 38 points against Texas and then 38 points against Vanderbilt, LSU has looked like they've clamped down on the defensive end a little bit. So number 5 versus number 7, so Florida just has to go back right up and do it all over again on Saturday.
Huge challenge, huge opportunity. I mean, what happens to them on the playoff possibilities if they should go in and beat LSU? Mm-hmm. Just so many things that this game carries, the weight it carries. It is a huge game for LSU. Now, LSU and Burrow is just playing lights out. He's absolutely playing lights out. Good passing, excellent passing quarterback, and they've got some good receivers. I think it's going to be incumbent on Florida to find some way to get some pressure on him with pass rush, force him to throw the football early if they can, and they got to be on the coverage. I hope that they're good enough. I think with the 2 corners that Florida has, and this may be the key to the ball game, is if you see them up in press coverage, Joe, in the ball game, and they're successful at it, that could mean the difference in the ball game. The press coverage with some heat on the quarterback, and if he doesn't have somebody to get the ball to right away, like you would with a soft zone where they can sit him down, then you're going to see a little different passing game from LSU.
Yeah, and we talk about big weekends in college football. This may top the list at least in the early part of the season here, as we have 4 matchups come kind of move on from the LSU loss and make a statement here. Of course, it's played at the Texas State Fair, one of the great traditions in that neutral site in the Cotton Bowl there. So that should be a good one as well.
Oh, it'll be a great game, and these are all huge games you're talking about. Every one of the games, distinct playoff implication involved in the outcome of those games, and we're going to be getting into a lot of detail on all of them as we go through the week.
Yeah.
But just to look forward and look ahead, big week coming up in college football.
And finally, number 10, Penn State, who remains undefeated, and they are a team that has surprised me as they have gone undefeated at this point. Iowa, a little disappointment here. The Cleveland Browns out in California tonight. That's coming up next. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Game, don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola.
50-432-9050.
If you're a small business owner, there's no better place to find the impact hire to help your business than LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs takes the time to learn more about who you're looking for and then recommends qualified candidates from their community of engaged and career-minded people, candidates who you likely won't be able to reach anywhere else. The truth is, over 70% of the U.S. workforce is on LinkedIn, and posting your job on LinkedIn gives you the best chance of finding and starting a conversation with your next star recruit. It's no surprise a new hire is made every 8 seconds using LinkedIn. So build your winning team by posting a job on LinkedIn and visit linkedin.com/sports to get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports for $50 off your first job post. linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh, my gosh. That's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron.
He's nothing but a lame-head old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station, your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Happy Monday. Welcome into the program. Talk football with Coach K, live every weekday from noon until 1. Do have